Can you hear me? Great. Cool. Welcome. Vedanta.
I wasn't sure if I can speak today because I'm very tired, but it feels my system wants just connect with you. Yeah.
Great.
Yes. Oof. I would like to say a little bit to this.
You're welcome.
Yes,
You're
yes,
so welcome.
yes. We had this inquiry about this projection and all this, and it feels like I was stepping into a pilot, like what I fear is still my system says in a way no to this dynamic what happens. It's strong, actually. What changed this with looking with you is not to take it personal.
Yeah, beautiful.
This is but what I started was that I wanted to do something again, to go in contact, and this felt like repressing something. This I could see later. It feels I really need time. My whole system needs time just to.
So beautiful to honor that. Yeah.
Yes, and also in this moment, it feels I don't see any readiness on the other side to look for themselves. It's my impression right now. I know all can change always, but right now it feels so healthy to me to just say in this moment, no to this dynamic actually. Yes, yeah.
So beautiful.
Yeah. So
And not confusing it that it's not no to the person, it's no to the dynamic.
yes, that's a big difference actually.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole fighting can stop. Not the whole fighting and wanting to change anybody or anything. It's just the seeing how it plays right now, and for that it's really needed out. Then I can call it like this, just to this flow of this unhealthy energy. What I feel actually.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Healthy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This night, again, a lot of movement happened in my body, and it's always around the solar plexus. And then the tantra happened, and you said not to push it, not to change it, just to allow it. And it felt so beautiful. It was like in my solar plexus. It's a picture, but there was just it feels like a healthy baby. Actually, was just making so beautiful movements and just enjoying the energy which wants to move right now. Yes. Yeah. Oh my God, it's quite yeah, it's an adventure. It's everything. Yeah. But are you eating right now chocolate? Oh, okay.
Some vegan chocolate.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah. Yes, two little things I like to say. When we had this inquiry a few days before it was just in the past, there was a point where I met Shane. I don't know if you remember. And there I feel somehow that I touched something, what touched my dynamic with my friends, you know what I was saying, the dynamic of the family. And it's very delicate. It feels like in that moment like that you cannot follow me or that you cannot go to that place with me. It was just for a moment like this. And I cannot, it's just, I want to say it without knowing what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's like to say no
Yes.
can bring shame.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you're
Yes.
saying no, and it's like, wow. And the program is you should be nice, or you should be friendly, or you should,
Yes.
you know, and wow, and going against that program. And also, when you set a clear boundary, very often it brings up shame in the other person.
Yes.
And if you're sensitive, you'll feel it and even think it's yours.
Yes. 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 And also when we talk that time, it can be, or maybe it was like that I was much more in the mind somehow, and that your boundary was stopped, and that changed nothing. Yes, then also.
Yeah.
So now
Mm.
everything.
Okay, sweetheart. Manjali.
Hi, Isaac.
Hi. Judith.
Hi, Isaac.
Hi. Yeah, it just came in my mind to explore what entanglement actually is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. So, you know, I mean, if I make it simple, it's like any time in my mind, it's like that you're responsible for my happiness, that's entanglement.
Yeah.
So it's, that. So, how does that relate to intimate relating? Because usually when we get involved in intimate relating, there's the unspoken agreement. I'm going to take care of your needs and you're going to take care of my needs.
Mm-hmm.
And just see if that's true. I mean, I think we can look at that together and just see.
Mm-hmm.
It's a funny thing, we come together and, okay, now we're going to be together, and that's just unspoken, or sometimes
Yes.
even spoken.
Yeah.
But the moment that's there, we don't feel free anymore.
Yeah.
And let's just look at how is that different than if you have a child? Because if you have a child, you don't make that agreement with the child.
No.
It's just, it's like their life depends on you. So
It happens.
it happens, yeah.
Yeah.
But then it's like when that idea or that agreement is unexamined and our needs don't get met, then usually there's a very strong emotional response that happens,
Mm-hmm.
which oftentimes, in my view, has to do with a very young organization.
That's my sense also.
Yeah. And so it's we've spoken before about when we're trying to keep our relationship good, and that is one of the fundaments of it, that I have to meet your needs, or you have to meet my needs,
Mm-hmm.
then we've actually got a war.
We have
We've got an
war or
a
war?
war.
War.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because what's happening is the moment the need is not met, it's going to feel existential in nature, and it's going to project and wanting the other
I see
person to
that.
be different. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's it's just an opportunity in a sense to bring it home.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and there's a risk in it in a certain way that'll be a deal breaker, and then suddenly you don't have a relationship. But what you have is unconditional love.
Yeah.
And, you know, the love that's truly there can meet itself without that pressure on yourself or the pressure on
The other.
each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, in a way, it's just starting to recognize. Yeah, I mean, if I'm just talking about my experience, it was seeing that somehow I had gotten into that idea that my partner had to meet my needs. In order for me, I mean, and the way it played in me was, look, you know, I'm going to give up all other women, and therefore you have to meet my needs. Otherwise, my needs will not get met. And I'm giving up, you know, I'm giving that up so that, you know, like, but it really made it was terrible for me, and it was also terrible for my partner at the time. It was every partner I ever was with, actually, until something came out of that cycle and just went, wait a second, no, I'm sovereign. Nobody has to meet my needs. I don't even know if I have to meet my needs. I mean, I don't know if what is my needs is some idea that sits somewhere. You know, it's like, and so, yeah.
What I see
yeah,
sorry.
No problem. Yes, speak.
Yeah. In my system, it is really about the longing for depth of connection and seeing that this young organization has missed that anyhow, as well with the father as the mother. And somehow, where I miss it in relating, this
but you see, it's
somehow,
that's not actually true, because you and I, when we meet, we can meet absolutely deeply and beautifully. So your system knows it and can have it. But the other side of it is, you know, part of that entanglement is somehow, please don't abandon me. Don't ever leave me. Don't. I'll do whatever I need to do. I'll jump over myself so that you don't. I'll leave myself so that you don't leave me. And that's a very young organization. You see, and we don't have that because there's no entanglement. But oftentimes when we get into an intimate relationship,
then that is touched somehow in this young organization.
This young, don't leave me. But it's like, you know, what does don't leave me mean? It's like, you know, there's going to be an upset. Okay, so I have to live my life around trying not that someone else doesn't get upset around me. That's a very small life.
Definitely, yeah. So, and what about this young organization? How can that?
It's like not leaving
come to
yourself.
Peace or to
Not leaving yourself, just seeing it and going, look, yes, there's love here, and when it's authentic, I love to meet. When it's and when it's not authentic, then it's no. Not. And if that means you need other women, other men, other whatever, you know, you're free. You're a free person. And then it's not a threat anymore. It's just like, look, I'm here and there's love, and it's not that it's, it's easy to project. It's not enough. It's not good enough, all that stuff. But but anything, if it goes past that, then you're leaving yourself, and and the cost is immense.
Yes.
You're no more sovereign. You're entangled. You're codependent, and there's just actually a very sticky dynamic that ends up with endless fights and explosions and So, in some sense, it's like just starting to not leave yourself, stand on your own feet, be sovereign, be here, being vulnerable in it. Yeah. And it's, it's just like the love is unconditional. It's here, whether you stay with me, whether you don't, whatever. It's like you're a free person. And this is free here, it's always been free. Just for a little bit, I thought it wasn't.
I hear you.
Yeah. And that brings another possibility that's so, then, then actually that's the only chance to live as unconditional love. It's not on and off. It's not using love to try and control. It's, love is here. It's like if an upset happens, then you're present with the upset, but it doesn't get projected. And then it's just, like when that little one or that young organization comes up, it's not leaving yourself because of it. It's just, oh, I see you. And actually, then for the first time, maybe you can even listen. Could you just, if you're available, if it's possible, can you just be present with that young organization? Otherwise, it can't, because it feels existential, and then it's locked into fight, flight, or freeze, and usually that triggers the other nervous system, and you got the dance.
Definitely.
Yeah. Just letting the love flow right now, and just feeling how it meets itself here. It's like, wow, whole bodily, every cell dancing, and nothing is held back. And in that, to me, there's no morality. There's no trying to, there's just, it's innocent. It can meet itself, and it can say yes and no clearly, because it doesn't want anything particularly. It's just here and can respond in what feels true. That's it.
And the embodiment makes it, in a sense, simple when you really truly embodied.
Yeah.
That's a huge difference.
Yeah. And then whatever comes up, there's a chance to meet it, because it's not, it's not trying to hold on to something that doesn't even exist. It's not like, You know, it's like when life is looking through the lens of don't abandon me, it never feels safe to really love. So we have strong emotions that we confuse with love, but it's not that unconditional quality. It's conditional. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And sometimes because you are in it, it can be so close that I can't see clearly
For
anymore,
sure.
you know.
You know, but I tell you, you have the clear seeing at this moment, and I would say the overview, and that gives space then to explore the little movements that come up.
Yeah.
Because there's no confusion. It's just, okay, yes, I see clearly. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Coming back and back and back to this. Thank you, Isaac, for clarification.
Oh, big pleasure. I didn't have an intention to speak, but then as we met, it was like, oh, wow, I can see how to express it right now.
Very nice. Thank you.
Yeah. Wonderful. How did the Brigitte, good, and then afterwards Laura. Okay.
Sorry, she can go
No
first.
problem.
If she was first. No.
It's somehow you spoke, and
Okay.
afterwards Laura, you next. Is that okay? Cool.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
I felt my system relax and say lighten up when you started to speak about entanglement. And you described it as if an entanglement is if you make someone else responsible for your happiness or making you happy. And I feel that same entanglement with myself, that I'm responsible to make myself happy.
Exactly.
And suddenly I wanted to explore something, but I think I'm seeing it clearer now, that like in our last meeting on Sunday, already 20 minutes, 25 minutes before the meeting, I started leaving, leaving, wanted to do things, wanted to, closing myself off in a way. And after the meeting was over, I felt really, in turmoil, bad inside. I felt the violence of what I was doing in leaving a place which I didn't want to leave.
So beautiful. Just to see, did you do it, or was that an automatic, unconscious movement?
No, it was automatic response, because I have I see it more often that I say transitions. My system doesn't handle them easily. And I had the same thing happen yesterday. I had a beautiful day babysitting my granddaughter, and with all this loving energy from the past week, it was really being there and sweet, and then coming home and being here by myself. I think I didn't sleep till about 4 o'clock. It was this huge transitioning that from a close connection to connecting with myself, or not connecting with myself, but keeping that connection with myself. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying?
Let's. I do understand, and let's just slow that down a little bit. So, so we're here now, and there's not two yous, yeah. There's no you and yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No.
So let's just see what, because, you know, like, what leaves ourself is our attention.
Mm-hmm.
So then the inquiry is our attention who we are?
Is our attention on who we are? Is that what you said?
Is our attention who we are? Because if we say,
who we are.
you know, yeah, our attention leaves, our attention gets busy with something else as a compensation,
Mm-hmm.
an automatic compensation. But then is our attention who we are? Or is our attention just a focus?
Yeah, it's not who we are.
It's not who we are. So that movement of attention, like, you know, they are enjoying like crazy your granddaughter, and it's like, you know, it's just a love affair, and then coming home and a familiar feeling or an old pattern comes on your attention, tries to avoid it, or tries to, or, you know, goes into a compensation. It's like, okay, this is loneliness, I'm alone, or something, you know?
Yeah.
And actually, you know, and then the longing, oh, I wish I had someone, or, you know, then the mind is already projecting what's going to solve it. And then, you know, our attention is busy with all of that.
Yeah, those thoughts don't even come up.
And those thoughts don't even come up. There's just, yeah, whatever.
It's just like and yeah, and I think a big empty space and no relaxation in that.
Yeah. So in that empty space, where's your attention? Because somehow your system is
Nowhere.
It's nowhere. Wow. Yeah. And it's not
that has
present.
been my escape mechanism to disappear in nowhere land and don't think anything and don't feel anything.
Yeah. So it's in a sense, it's like a freeze. It's a numbing.
Yeah.
Mm.
Looks
so,
like that.
You know, that, yeah. So that's usually also, it's a young organization. That's how your system survived at some point. It's not wrong. Yeah. It's not bad. But we just taking a moment to see that that's how it's functioned up till now. It kind of numbs out and
into the pattern. Yeah.
Yeah. And so now we're here right now. And just here. Just here with these sensations, whatever's here. And I love that I can be present with you in these sensations, hold your hand in them. So you're not in it alone. And all of us can be present with you in it. And it feels like you're welcoming us to be present in that. And I'm sure many people here know that, what you're describing. So it's not personal to you. It's just a familiar young organization that never got met, you know. Our parents never had that capacity to really be present to that. And just how is it to just be present here together in this?
And my whole body is relaxing. Say the nervous tension, which was like a huge shakiness in my body, is leaving. And a deep the deep upset, which I felt as well, is vanishing.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah.
I feel
Without any doing, just loving presence. Huh?
Yeah, and the only thing I keep on feeling is a deep pain, deeper in my belly. There's a pain. Which,
Yeah, and then let's include that. In the chakra system, the belly is the area of belonging.
mm-hmm.
So it's not surprising. Yeah, it's
no, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also the umbilical cord, you could say. That's the sense of connection with the mom. And if the womb wasn't, you could say,
The
a
womb
warm
was
welcome.
I have memories from that it wasn't safe in the womb either already.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, and so just present in the belly, just maybe put your hands on that spot in your belly, just actually physically touch it there and hold it. Just gently present, nothing to change, nothing to fix, just including that. And in the sense, just you could say, welcoming that young organization or welcome that sensation. So you're the welcome, or you're the, so that's welcome here. Nothing has to be different, just I feel you.
That's the relaxation I felt when I realized that entanglement is that I'm also not happy, not responsible for making myself happy. So
yeah,
what is so this belly pain is just as welcome as a tear
everything,
or a smile.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and funnily enough,
sleep, so that's also then the mind thinks I should sleep. So hours awake or asleep are equal.
Yeah.
If I try to approach it that way in the night many times.
Yeah. Understand. Been there, done that many, many times. And, and just how's that belly feeling? Just being held from outside like that, and
it's a love affair.
Yeah.
It's the word that comes up is it's an honoring.
Yeah.
It's much less violent than going into a freeze or an escape or whatever.
Yeah. See, I mean, until in a sense, until we develop the capacity to present to it, there is no other option. It just goes into that freeze. It just goes to get away because it doesn't know.
Yeah. No, but I've done so much work on this already. So every time there's this nuances and deepness, and I.
And just sense as you're feeling into your belly right now, just sense how it connects with your the rest of your body. Does it go down into your sex? Does it go down your legs? Just giving it.
Yes.
Starting to connect up, yeah?
Yeah. It's the right leg a little bit slower than the left leg, but it's yeah.
And just let it have its own pace. It knows what to do. You don't have to even direct it. Yes, yeah. Yeah.
No.
How's the sensation in the belly? Has it changed?
Yeah, the pain is gone. It's still sensitive.
Yeah.
But
But
it's
it's
not,
different, yeah?
it's different. Yeah. There's more spaciousness, but still, yeah, sensitive.
Mm. Mm.
I wouldn't describe it as pain anymore, but sensitive.
Yeah. Mm.
And what I feel that there are, or what I experience, the sensation, or when I being with you, is that veils are lifting. Say, the degree of presence is changing because of this. The way I can even
Yeah, it's in,
actually
yeah,
see.
yeah. I mean, to me, it feels like you could say the quality of attention is going from a personal quality to like a wide quality where you're resting as being and not so much as Birgitta, yeah?
Yeah. But it's also like the seeing against being
Yeah,
right, and
yeah.
then fear
Mm.
and
Yeah.
and the song comes up, love is in the air.
Thanks, Birgitta.
Thank you, Isaac.
Mm. Laura.
Hi.
Hi.
When you spoke about entanglement, like I've heard you speak about it many, many, many times, and I've always then feel or think like, yeah, that's my ideology in a way, or that's the way I want to navigate in life and relating and no ships and all that. I was like, yeah, enthusiastic about it. But now this time, and as there's still like a little leftover, this time it really touched my heart. And it's not only an ideology anymore, but I could really feel what that could mean. And my heart went like, ooh, yeah, fear or something. Like, whoa, the implications of that would be that I should need to learn to meet my heart. And I realized, I had the insight that I had been avoiding that by going for the more unconventional style of relating, you know, no agreements. And then somehow I realized, I'm just keeping myself safe in that.
Oh, so sweet. You're
Yeah.
seeing deeper, Lara. You're seeing deeper. It's beautiful.
Yeah, there's more. And then came a point that I just could not, say, for example, connect sexually and with a heart without being fully engaged, which leaves me like 10 times more open. And it's like I don't know yet how to hold myself in that.
And so there's a learning,
Yeah, so it started to project again onto the other story, the more Disney story, like, no, maybe I should, you know, find a man, go into a container, committed relationship, and feel safe. And go deep there in this so-called
maybe
safe.
that, you know, I don't know if you can, you see, I don't know if you can find safety in agreements.
No.
It's possible that you can meet someone and the connection is deep and strong, and within that, there's no agreements necessary, but there's a willingness, you could say, to be pierced, to be vulnerable and naked and present without avoiding and, you know, just like
Yeah. Somehow it's scary,
yeah.
Fright around the heart to walk around so open and touched, and especially when I engage sexually now, I walk around like an open. It's quite something.
It is quite something.
Not open wounds, but open everything. I get touched by everything, and it's
everything.
Yeah. Quite intense.
Yeah.
So it feels like it needs some courage to.
You know, courage, the word courage, I think, comes from the word heart. It is the heart.
Yeah.
The root of the word courage is the heart. Yeah.
I don't know if I can meet myself in that. If someone else disappear or someone else can't, then yeah, really, I want to learn to sit with my heart.
You know, to me, it seems like it's this. We love to love, but what we've been conditioned to is I love you, and yet we don't even know what you is. And all we know is that our nature actually is love. So it's like if somewhere there's this idea that the love is outsourced, so to speak,
Yeah.
then of course it's tricky. But the recognition that actually there's just this loving to love, and
Yeah.
yeah, in that, you know, sure, then discomfort might arise if the person that you're enjoying in that with that love flow whatever happens, who knows? I mean, it's just like,
Yeah, I feel I really don't want to project that outward, actually.
yeah. Yeah. You know, what we've been conditioned to is falling in love. And then, and what that means is outsourcing the love. The love is, yeah. But really our nature is that love. So it's a different quality of loving, and it's a different, you know, it's just, it's starting to get clear of that entanglement because, yeah.
Such a deep, deep cultural conditioning around.
Oh, huge, huge. I mean, you know, what I see for myself is when there's a deep seeing of being sovereign, of being the source of how physically love meets itself, then is quite different. When there's a sense of you're the source of love, there's what happens is trying to get the other person addicted to you and trying to get them you know, trying to, yeah, just it's a whole different dynamic that's just inherent in that perspective, you could say like that. And it's, you know, all this stuff, you know, don't leave me, I'll be whatever you want me to be. And, you know, if you do leave me, you're a complete asshole. I mean, it's, you know, that whole dance, rather than I'm just here and I'm not leaving myself for anything, I'm just here. I am. Yeah. And in that, there's a way that meeting can happen that is just, yeah. Then there's no separation, there's no, yeah. You know, I don't think there's any special way to be. It's just like where what we're speaking resonates with a deep knowing. Then, in a sense, it gives access to a felt sense of that unconditional love. But to try and get there or to try and model yourself or have a philosophy about it, that's always going to not work. So, yeah. Yeah, then like you spoke, it can be used as a means of actually not really being present.
Avoiding this fearful heart.
Yeah. And I mean, the heart is so, it's like, how do we honor it so sweetly and not jump over it? And not, it's like, it's, to be in tune with it so sweetly and deeply.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Be in tune, yeah. Lucky to be learning that.
Yeah, wow. Deeply grateful.
Thank you.
Thanks, Laura. Wow, beautiful. Yeah, just exquisite. Jakub, how do you say your name? Did I say it correctly? Jakub?
Yeah,
Or Jacob?
Jakub.
Jakub. Okay. Great.
Hello.
Greetings. How did what I speak resonate with your unknowing?
Say again.
How did what I was speaking about, unconditional love, resonate with your own knowing?
Yes, it resonates a lot. When I'm single now, when I had some partners, especially, yeah, I don't, if this person will see this, it's okay. I just, my experience was this sexual connection was more like using other body to get some sensation. And like, let's say short after the act, and I, let's say, look at the partner, and then oh, let's take it generally. Like people after the act are very like full of pleasure, full of lust, but it's like, at least for me, like taking drugs or like the addiction.
Yeah.
And then after that, people say, "I love you." So they say, "I love you" to that feeling what they feel inside. That's
You speak very well.
for me. It's like this disgusting, really. I yeah.
Which country are you in? That I'm trying to recognize that room. Where are you now?
In India.
In India. Okay, I thought it looks okay.
I'm in a
It looks
hospital.
like a Indian hostel. Okay, I understand. Yeah. Which part of India?
South India, in Mysore.
So, okay, great.
Yeah. learning to be patient with this. I always was rushing. I want enlightenment. I want enlightenment. And now, finally, I'm getting more relaxed about it.
So when you rest here like this, how's your consciousness?
Very wide and spacious.
And if I ask you the deepest question, and you answer it from your own knowing, nothing from you've read anybody, but from here, who are you? Beyond the mind, beyond any thought, beyond any experience.
Yeah.
And from that, what is enlightenment? Who would get enlightened? And what is enlightenment? An idea?
There is still this habit of getting somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are we there yet? You know, our children, when you take them somewhere, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? No, we're here. We're not there, we're here. Now we're here. Beauty.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Bus.
Can I sit a moment with you?
With absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much.
No, so exquisite, boss. Yeah, just that question, who are you? Who, just here now, speaking from this, from here, beyond any thought, beyond every experience, beyond the beyond of the beyond. Who are you?
Being touched.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, mind comes in and sinking.
No problem.
Yeah.
Really not a problem. You see it.
Yeah.
You see
Yeah.
it. And that which sees it, I mean, you just watch this funny little activity going on. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Ah,
Yeah.
so beauty. Yeah. Thanks, boss. And thanks for getting that mailing out so quickly too.
You're very welcome.
Yeah. Annetta. Hey. There you go.
I'd like to sit with you too, just.
So welcome.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. I'm just very happy with our connection and with the Sangha, and yeah, it moves me, and it's so supportive, and yeah, I just love this, really love you, love everyone.
How lucky. Annetta.
And I don't know who I am, so.
Oh, we can't say who we are. That's the difficulty. It's like, there's a knowing that's beyond any thought, but you can't say what that is.
No.
Mm.
I also kind of lost interest to meditate on that or to try and find an answer. I'm just here, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the simplicity.
Yeah. I'm a bit simple, so.
Yeah. But it's, it's so easy. We just look, are we our thoughts? No, because thoughts come and go.
Mm.
Are we our feelings? No, can't be.
Mm.
Are we our experiences? No, okay.
Mm.
Are our opinions and judgments and beliefs?
Mm.
No. We can see what we're not quite easily.
Mm-hmm.
There's not much left after that.
It can be a big joke, and sometimes the emptiness, you know, that it's when you realize that you're nothing, all of that, it can get so empty. Sorry,
Yeah.
it's scary,
Yeah.
and then you just, I'm basically dealing with the fear of emptiness, I feel.
Yeah, and then that fear appears in the emptiness, and what can the fear do to the emptiness?
Nothing, but if you allow it, it can get overwhelming. So it's
Yeah.
really,
Just to see it for what it is. I mean, if being afraid of what you are, that's a bit of a joke.
okay, that's the way to put it. Yeah. I'll remember that. In the middle of the night when I wake up and
There's nobody here. Wow. Okay.
it's pretty scary, but who cares? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. It's just, in a way, it's just like there's been such a habit of getting orientation and then not to have any orientation at all and just to rest, and that's okay. It's wow, it's so cool. Just don't know. Yeah. Nowhere to go. Don't need to know anything.
No.
I'm here. That's all I know, actually.
Yeah.
That's it.
Same. And sometimes you feel a pull to do things,
Yeah.
plans, and they come and go, and then you get sucked into those plans, and sometimes they happen, and sometimes they don't.
They don't, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Life dance.
Yeah. Strange dance. Yeah. Thank you, Isaac. Lovely to see you again.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. I go back to gallery view. If my thing works, it seems stuck. You can hear me though, huh? Oops, no. The whole thing is frozen. Can anyone hear me?
Yeah. I think everybody hears you, but for me, your picture is frozen.
Yeah, something happened. My computer just disappeared. But I'm back. Suddenly everything froze. Ah, he just. Hey.
Hey. There's a lot been going on. Still is. It's one aspect which I've been noticing since the retreat. What, that's 2 days now. It's not a lot. And it's here's something like that. The nervous system is kind of really open, and I guess raw is maybe a word, and vulnerable, and in that, and there is a discomfort at the same time as the openness is something that I enjoy and desire. But there is this, I don't know, I guess like the whole system is being touched. You know, like an open wound in a sense.
Understand.
Yeah. And in that, I've not been able to kind of just rest with it. There is, when I notice how I'm trying to jump out of that like everywhere, and there's recognition, okay, that's not really the best way to go about it, and then there is this attempt to well, I mean, there is an attempt, so it's a move, but of course the idea is to not to move, to stop this movement. So
or just see that which sees the movement is not moving.
Ah, okay. I guess that was the missing bit. Because there was so much movement.
Yeah, it's working very well with us.
Yeah, then I had kind of, I guess, managed to kind of address my exterior in a way that it was a little bit more kind of convenient for what was going on, like a little bit safe and not so much movement. And then spoke to my childhood friend, and I mean, I love him to death, but we have a complicated relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, I have this sense that we go so far back that I don't even, can't even fathom it. And there is a lot that we have been up to.
Mm-hmm.
And it hasn't all been pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of power, like this massive power. And it doesn't feel like it's always been used for everybody's benefit, let's just say it like that.
Yeah, seeing through new eyes, huh?
Yeah. And then what comes up like between us is that we're both deeply sensitive. But we maybe go about it a little bit differently. Like he senses something in me, then just to kind of prove a point, he energetically squeezes it. And this is how it used to go, and it hasn't happened so much, but yesterday it happened. And he squeezes something in me that I don't know where it leads to, but how it appears is there's this self-loathing and self-destructiveness that comes from it. And it gets felt like in the front of the heart, in the body, and it appears in a sense as the opposite of what the heart represents to me, in a sense. And yeah, and then that kind of same kind of a movement happens as I described before. Yeah. And I blame him.
Up till now, I mean, in the way you're speaking and seeing it right now, that blaming happens.
Yeah, blaming happens because it really seems like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, even if he does know what he's doing. If blaming happened and blame was believed in,
oh, wow.
Suddenly...
That's the painful bit.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
underneath that, have you ever experienced when hurt happens and we somehow believe it's somebody else's fault, how everything in us tries to hurt them?
Yeah, absolutely.
So underneath whatever's going on in him, I would guess there's hurt.
Yeah, I actually think I know what's going on. I don't agree that I hurt him, but I understand why he might see it like that.
he might, he just somehow his system sees it like that. Okay, so then his system will use everything it knows about you to try and get, you to realize the error of your ways or whatever. But it's coming out of hurt.
Yeah, and he knows a lot.
So it's just a confused. It's just a confusion. So, I think I told that story about the Buddha. He was walking around, holding his meetings like this, and he came to the city and he was talking, and this one young man heard him and caught on fire. Absolutely, just man. He said, "I want to hang with you, man. This is everything for me." Only difficulty was his dad was the richest man in the city, and he was the only son. And his dad said, "Look, you have to, you have amassed this fortune, and I want you to take over." And the son said to the dad, "Dad, listen, I found something more valuable than this, so I'm out of here. I'm gone, man. Sorry." So the dad was pissed off, man, when Buddha was walking out of the city with his son and a bunch of other people that wanted to cruise with him. He stopped the whole procession and he stood and he screamed his pain out at Buddha for hours. And Buddha just let him continue. When he was done, Buddha said, "Okay, if somebody gives you a gift and you don't accept it, to whom does the gift belong?" And this rich man said, "Obviously to the giver." He said, "Well, I don't accept your anger." Mm-hmm. So just because he's whatever's expressing through your friend, as from hurt, you don't have to accept it. It's just like, okay, not interested in that. Not interested in that dynamic. I see that there's pain there, I get it. And I see that something believes I'm the cause of that pain, I get it, and I'm not. And if you'd like to continue this friendship, you need to look at that, because I'm not here to be projected on like this. That's an old thing, and I'm not available for that anymore. I know we've called that friendship in the past, but for me, it's not. That's not what I call it anymore.
Yeah. But in this case, it's not the. Well, I mean, there is a projection, but I guess like the blaming doesn't hurt in this case, but it's like him finding and hurting me, which doesn't have anything to do with him, and then squeeze that in a way that he knows what to do.
So wherever that hurt gets touched, if it doesn't blame him for it, and it uses it as an opportunity, what is that touch? What's going on there? Then it's like, you don't have to go to a guru. You've got the best trainer in the world. He knows you so well.
Yeah. I've been able to see it in the past, but now I was like, I've been 2 weeks like in this retreat. I was like in this space, and you like plummet me back in, and I was blaming him for that.
Yeah. So the thing is, it's like at some point, there's also setting boundaries. It's like, look, there's so much love here for you, and this dynamic, I'm I'm not available for this dynamic anymore. I'm not leaving you. I'm just not available for this dynamic. That's all.
Yeah, I'd actually started to write in my letter, which was quite actually.
Yeah,
it's new
because in a
our,
sense,
yeah,
it's like, what can you do if you, sometimes in intimate relating or in deep friendships, it becomes pain ping pong, and sometimes it can even get to the point where you start, start punching each other or whatever it is, and it's not healthy. It's just like at some point, no, not available for that anymore. I'm here if we can. I'm happy to inquire with you, but I'm not available just to be projected on. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't mind if projection happens, and there's a seeing of it, and an inquiry opens up from that. But just to be here and to be squeezed and hurt, I thank you for it. I'll take the opportunity and look at my own time, but I'm not available for it. Just
yeah.
And there's love here. I'm not leaving you. I'm just not available for this dynamic. That's all.
Yeah, this leaving bit, I've noticed it's a challenge. It's very interesting. I'm getting all these guy friends. This thing is coming up like on so many fronts, and I notice how when the pain goes over threshold, I want to threaten the connection, or like there's a pattern around, reacting like
Traveling perfectly with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the truth is, I don't want to. But I'm not available for that. That's all it is.
I understand. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Isaac.
Beauty. Sweetheart. Thank you for showing up. Yeah.
Thank you for showing up.
Yeah. It's such a pleasure to get to meet like this. My God.
Yeah. Incredible. Beautiful.
Next meeting is Sunday, huh? So, love, peace.
Love and peace to you.
Yeah, thank you. Ciao.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Sylvie. Thank you.
See you Sunday or next week.
Yep.